Hey y'all, it's your girl Dana Patrice, aka the Black Fairy, and I am here again with another video for my channel Black Fairy Tings. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Please like, share the video, subscribe. Don't forget to click that notification bell. Okay, this channel is all about deconstructing the patriarchy, deconstructing Christianity, pretty much deconstructing and decentering men, as well as learning to love ourselves to the fullest, getting into our power to the fullest extent, because every woman is a goddess, and we do that all over here, okay, on the channel Black Fairy Tings. Today, our video was about why men cite themselves more and why it matters, okay? I'm going to get into all of that. I'm just going to play the intro first. Let's get into it, y'all.
Yes. I fall in love with myself, and I want someone to share it with me. I want someone to share me with me.
Okay, y'all. Thank you for tuning in. So we're just going to hop right into it. I want you guys to imagine something for me, okay? Imagine two researchers, same field, similar work, but one is far more likely to cite themselves, okay? Boosting their visibility and their credibility. Well, y'all, that researcher is probably a man, okay? Studies show that men self-cite their own work up to 70% more than women. And that gap, it's actually growing, okay? This is a pattern that reveals how deeply patriarchy is embedded in even the most intellectual spaces. Now, how I came across the idea for these videos is I was actually on Threads, okay? You know, the Instagram Threads. And I can't remember exactly what it was about, but I remember that the person posted a picture of an article, an online article that said exactly this. And it said, you know, something to the extent of, new study finds that men are their own favorite experts on any given subject. And this came up, I think it was because someone made a comment and someone was like, it was a man, of course, and a woman was like, where did you get this from? And the person posted the picture of the article. Now, I thought that this article had to be a satire, right? This couldn't be for real. To me, anyways, that's how I felt about it. So I Googled it, and lo and behold, this is a real thing, okay? It is true that this is a fact, which is crazy to me. They literally use themselves as their own research. They use their opinions and their feelings as their own research. And I found this to be hilarious because it is definitely something that I see all the time in spaces, like when I am, you know, scrolling along the internet, and people, women specifically, because we know how a lot of men like to infiltrate women's spaces when they're discussing their experiences, specifically with men and things like that. And they come with all this vitriol and all these statistics and data that they themselves do not know how to read, but they want to tell us about it and use it as facts and make themselves sound intellectually smarter than they actually are. Okay? So we are going to dig into this a little bit, right? Because it really gets into how patriarchy shapes our world in the subtle and not so subtle ways, okay? So it is going to be a little bit of a series. This is the first video out of 3. We're going to take a look at who gets to be seen as an expert and how self-citation plays into this, okay? We're diving into how men essentially become their biggest fans in academic spaces, particularly while women, despite equal or even higher contributions, they remain undercredited, okay? So let's get into it. Let's start with the research. Now, I do have, I'll just show you, because I couldn't find the exact article, right? I couldn't find the exact article. Actually, let's make it a little bit bigger since I'm not on screen today, right? So this is a new study finds that men, let me put this down. Right, that men are often their own favorite experts on any given subject. And you see this man right here, right? Just into himself, kind of like the pictures that I took from the screen. But this is not the particular study, but this article goes over the study. But, you know, I wanted to have a little visual for y'all. So here it is. So there was a researcher by the name of Molly M. King. Her and her colleagues analyzed over 1.6 million academic papers from 1779 to 2011. Woo. Okay, so the research was called a study titled "Men Set Their Own Cites High: Gender and Self-Citation Across Fields and Over Time." Right. So what they found was absolutely staggering. They found that 1, men cite their own previous work 56% more than women overall. In the last 2 decades of that period, it has jumped to 70% more. Okay. Now, self-citation isn't inherently bad. It's not a bad thing. It's a natural part of academic writing. You know, you're building on your past work. It's not a bad thing. But when one group is doing it disproportionately, it inflates their visibility in the academic record, and subtly, it reinforces who gets taken seriously, okay? So this becomes like this feedback loop, y'all. You know, self-citations increase perceived expertise, then that leads to more external citations, which then leads to more fundings, promotions, and recognition. So it's really just not about the ego, right? This is a systematic advantage. Okay. So why does this happen? We're going to get into why it happens. I'm just going to take a quick break while I roll up. I sound like I'm smoking up, but no, I'm just going to roll through something that I have here. I have some notes and we're going to come right back. 30 seconds.
Hey, you guys, it's your girl, Dana Patrice, aka the Black Fairy. And I am just here to remind you, please like, share, comment, subscribe, okay? Click that notification bell so you don't miss out on any new videos or any new lives, okay? I will be coming here with more and more information, so please, you don't want to miss out. And this is just a quick reminder and a quick thank you, because it's a free way to support the channel and to support me. I love y'all.
Okay, so why does this happen, y'all, right? Why does this happen? There's a few reasons, and we're going to break it down now. So the first one is social conditioning. Ooh, sorry, someone's out there. This is city living for y'all. So number 1, social conditioning. Men are more often raised to speak confidently, even when they're not sure, right? Which goes into what I was saying about these men we come across in these spaces where we may be discussing patriarchy, maybe discussing women's issues, single mothers, things like that, right? More often than not, they speak so confidently, even when they're not sure, even when they don't really know. They just generally speak confidently because they think that because of what's between their legs gives them some sort of authority. You know, women are more conditioned to be modest, to be, you know, kind of downplay our accomplishments. And that bleeds into the writing, the teaching, and even self-promotion. Okay, then there's number 2. There's this fear of judgment, right? Women who do self-promote may face backlash, which I've also seen. I'm sure many of you have seen. Let me know in the comments if you've seen this. Women who self-promote facing backlash, they are actually more likely to be seen as arrogant or self-serving when they do the same things that men are praised for. Again, any woman who goes into these circles, even sometimes in my own comment section, actually a lot in my own comment section, especially when I'm talking about patriarchy and, men and their misogyny, I get a lot of men who just try to shut me down and shut me up, and in the most rudest of manners, right? Then there's number 3, gatekeeping. Fields like science and tech and economics, they are historically male-dominated. In fact, most spaces are male-dominated. So if men are citing themselves and each other more, they're actually reinforcing a kind of boys' club expertise, which sucks for women, right? Because it keeps us out. It, again, keeps that portrayal that they are the better gender, they are the stronger gender, they are the smarter gender, and women just need to stay in their place type vibe, right? And this isn't just an academic issue. It actually affects all types of variations, like who gets hired, who gets published, who gets research funding, whose work becomes canon in a field, right? Women's ideas and research risk being forgotten, even if they're doing groundbreaking work. And we see this a lot. I actually, in my video of, women are superior, I think it was, because I do think women are superior to men. I don't think that we're equal. I think we are superior. Okay. I believe I laid out some work, and there's a couple other videos where I kind of touch on this. But this actually contributes to what they call the Matilda Effect. And we're going to dive into this with the next video in this series. But in short, just to give you a short little, of what the Matilda Effect is, it's pretty much a phenomenon where women's work is overlooked or credited to their male colleagues, right? The reference would be Rossiter, Margaret W. This is 1993, coining the term Matilda Effect, right? It's the invisibility. This invisibility is not accidental. It is systematic, right? So what can we do? You might be thinking, okay, so what do we do about this, Dana? How do we fix this? Like, now that we know this, how can we fix this? How do we move forward? How do we start, seeing a difference in our world in this aspect? Well, here's a few solutions that we can start with, okay? The first thing I would say is to encourage women in academia to self-cite more consciously, right? It's not arrogant. It's completely valid. And if you've done the work, own it, right? 2, mentorship networks. Okay, women lifting each other up, sharing citations, co-authoring, and recommending each other's work. Visibility starts with support. And once we start supporting each other in all these different realms and spaces that are literally usually, male dominated, we can start to see a difference. 3, check your citations lists. If you're writing, publishing, or even reviewing work, ask, am I only citing men? Actively include diverse sources, right? This will help make a difference. The next thing we could do is to push institutions for transparency, right? Hiring and grant committees need to understand that these biases and blah, 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 blah. They need to understand these biases and also adjust how they measure, impact. And for the viewers that are not in academia, this matters in everyday life too, okay? Y'all, we gotta stop this. We gotta see women. We need to stand up, okay? This matters in everyday life. We can all notice who's being talked over in meetings, who gets credited for ideas, and who doesn't, right? So we're going to get more into this a little bit. I just have a little bit left. I don't want to do too much. Again, this is a 3-part series. This is video 1, but I'm going to come right back after this little break.
Hey, y'all. Do you need a gratitude journal? Well, if you do, me, myself, and I, Dana Patrice, aka the Black Fairy, have gratitude journals available for sale in the link below. They go for $6.99 USD, and no worries. By clicking the link in the bio, it will send you straight to your country and to your currency. So don't worry about that. But just to give you a rough estimate, it is $6.99. Now, if you didn't know, gratitude is one of the best ways to not only affirm what it is that you want in your life, but to affirm what it is you want to see in your life. With that being said, this is a great tool and opportunity for you to take a part of. It's an inexpensive way for you to tap into the law of attraction. I highly, highly recommend it. And I love y'all. Link in the bio below.
Okay, y'all. So we're going to wrap this up, but I just want to say this. Okay, this isn't about blaming individuals. Oh, kind of. I blame men. I do blame men. It is about blaming individuals, okay? But it's also about recognizing patterns, okay? Men aren't exactly wrong for self-citing, but we have to ask, why are they the ones doing it more? And what does that mean for the rest of us? If we want equality, or even superiority, we need to start challenging even the most normal practices that quietly uphold the inequality that we see around us, right? So let me know in the comments below if you've seen this in action. Share your stories, whether it's in school, work, or research. Have you ever felt like your work wasn't being acknowledged the way it should be? And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on those notifications. I'll be breaking down the Matilda Effect in the next video, and trust me, you do not want to miss it. I love you. I believe in you. You've got this. We will speak soon, goddesses.
Hey, you guys, it's your girl, Dana Patrice, aka the
Yes. I fall in love with myself, and I want someone to share it with me. I want someone to share me with me.